I should say one thing in Twitter's defence. I mean, I use it as a marketing tool and for fun, like everyone else, right? But one great thing about Twitter, for me personally, I'm very into sort of anti-animal cruelty. And years ago, it would take ages to get 100,000 signatures on a petition standing outside Tesco's or something, right? And that's the magic number, because then it gets heard, in Parliament. And I've been part of many campaigns through Twitter that we've got 100,000 signatures in days, maybe, and the law's been changed. So thank you to anyone who's ever retweeted anything to do with animal cruelty, because it really makes a difference. So thank you. But even something as like clear and distinct as animal cruelty, right? You think no one's going to argue with that, are they? Yes, they will, right? They just want to be heard, right? I'll tweet something about a bull being tortured in a bull ring, right, for entertainment, and I say ban bullfighting. Someone always says, "What about the kids in Syria?" What? Well, I'm not giving you a choice. You can do both. I'm not saying throw that kid back in the hole, there's a bull here, right? And there's one thing that I didn't want in my head, but it exists, so we got to deal with it now, that I found out through Twitter. There's a thing called the Yulin Dog Meat Festival in China every year, and it's horrendous. And we send people with money to buy the dogs to bring them back, but it's a drop in the ocean. They eat tens of thousands over this weekend, and I tweet the details why it's so horrendous in a petition. People don't really read it. It's a knee-jerk. People say, racist. I go, what? They go, well, we eat pigs and cows in the West. Yeah, we do. I don't, but yeah, I used to, right? Sure. And you're right, yeah. A pig is worth as much as a dog. A cow is worth as much as a dog. It's not about the species. It's what they do to these poor dogs. And what they do is they torture the dogs first, because they think it makes the meat taste better. They beat them. They blowtorch them. They even skin them alive. And I saw this picture on Twitter of this opening of this ceremony. These two guys in this Chinese square, and they're skinning this dog alive, and it's screaming, and they're laughing. I thought, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Can I tweet that? I thought, yeah, I've got to. So I tweeted the picture with a petition, and I just said, one beautiful creature and two ugly cunts skinning it alive, right? And it took off, loads of retweets, and it made the press. I got one tweet back from a woman that said, is that language necessary? I should have left it, right? But I was incensed. I said, you're more offended by a word than by an animal being tortured to death. She said, I just hate the C word. I definitely should have left it. I sent back, people who hate the C word would hear it a lot less if they didn't go around acting like such cunts. Thank you. Good night. You've been fantastic. Good night. Cheers, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope no one was offended. No, I really do, because that's never the point. I've always wanted people to know they can laugh at bad things without being bad people. And I think it's my upbringing. As I say, I grew up in poverty with nothing, right? But the point was to pay your way, then have a laugh. That was the men. The women carried on working, obviously. But it was my older brother, Bob, who was about 11 years older than me, and it was him who I first saw making these dark jokes right in the bad situation. While the bad things were happening, he was making jokes about it, and people were laughing, and I realised, oh, he's healing them. That's what comedy's for. That's what humour's for. It gets us over bad stuff, right? Typical Bob story. He once spent an hour in the pound shop in Hayling Island just asking the cashier how much everything was. Just to see if he could break this poor man's will. And Bob was the first person I saw answer back to authority, and the first authority you come across are your parents, right? And he'd have an argument, he'd get in trouble, he'd get sent to bed, right? But I thought, no, he won the argument, though, right? And he teased my mum, and... So, my mum was a typical working class woman, I think, in that, as I say, we lived in a shitty area, right? And most of the houses had like a bit of mud and a stolen bike and fence posts missing. She mended the fence, she turfed the garden herself, she painted the step, because she thought, if it looked respectable, we'd be respectable. So it was about reputation, I guess. And so Bob would send her postcards that just read, "Is that paedophile postman still reading your mail?" And she'd take it and she'd go in and she'd be horrified. And she'd call Bob and go, "Bob, he saw it this time, you've got to stop doing that." Even at her funeral, my mum died first and my dad carried on for a year or so, just drinking beer in the garden, and he went, right? But for my mum's funeral, we sort of split up into different duties. I went and did sort of catering and flowers, and Bob went to see the local vicar. That was a mistake, right? We'd never been to church. He didn't know us. We didn't know him. So he just said to Bob, "Tell me about your mum so I can say a few words." And Bob saw that as an opportunity, right? So Bob, with a straight face, said to him, "Well, she was a keen racist." And the vicar went, "Oh, I can't say that." Bob went, "OK, but she liked gardening," right? And he was trying to get something past the vicar, so the vicar would say something and make us laugh in church. He didn't warn us, right? And he did get something by the vicar. So we're called Ricky, Robert, Bob, Ricky, Robert, Marsha and Larry. Now, Larry is the oldest. He's in his 70s, born in the war, right? I've always thought he was the sensible one, OK? I suppose firstborn, weight of the world on his shoulders. In fact, my mum told me that when he was a teenager, he got a job and he gave her the money to bring up the rest of us to help out, right? So he's a stand-up guy, Larry, right? So Bob gives the vicar the wrong name. Didn't warn us. We're all in church, right? Start of the funeral, we're all there, right? Packed out, right? The coffin comes down, guided by the vicar, the coffin gets down. The vicar goes to his pulpit, all confident with his little notes, right? And he goes, "Eva leaves behind 4 loving children, Ricky, Robert, Marsha, and Barry." And we snort like that, right? Bob sort of goes, everyone realised what's that. We were all fucking laughing. We see Larry go, right? And the church is like, every time we thought of it, people would go, we'd see Larry go, right. And then it would just start giggling, just fits and fucking giggles, right? And then Larry eventually sort of started doing this, right? And the vicar's thinking, what have I said, right? And he put in a few little things that the vicar wouldn't know about that he said that would set us off again, just things that were just lies or just slightly wrong. And my niece and nephew started crying, and I'd come prepared, right, with a little packet of those tissues. I was giving them those, and they were taking one and handing it on. But before the funeral, I'd taken all the tissues out, written on them, carefully folded them back and put them in. So they were pulling out a tissue and it said, "Snivelling fucking bitch," right? And they're sort of laughing, right? So it was like a madhouse, right? Everything the vicar said or did, we all started fucking laughing, right? And you could see the vicar was visibly sort of shook a little bit, right? And he ended the funeral and he made a beeline over for me and Bob, right? And he came and said, "Sorry, was that okay?" And me and Bob went, "It was fucking brilliant, mate. It was fucking brilliant, mate." And that's what I'm talking about. We're all going to die. So we should have a laugh, because if you can laugh in the face of adversity, you're bulletproof, okay? And me and my brother Bob had one simple rule, and that was, if you think of something funny, you've got to say it, right? Win, lose or draw, right? It might go well. It might go badly, but you've got to say it. And bear that in mind as I leave you with this. Right. So, we're all in the car one day, right? Bob's driving, we're packed in this car, going for a little day trip to the beach, right? And we get stopped, a little security check, right? And there's a British Bobby there, like that, and he just stops the car. Bob winds down the window. He said, "Where are we off to then?" Bob went, "Bognor." Right, he went, "Can you just pop the boot, please?" So he looks there, looks in the boot like that. Yeah, like that. Goes back up to Bob's window, gets that mirror on a stick thing, and he starts just looking under the car like that. And as he does that, his helmet falls off, right? And out of the helmet falls a packet of 20 cigarettes. And the copper just went, "Oh, I bet you've always wondered what we kept under our helmets." And Bob went, "I knew it wasn't fucking brains." You've been amazing. Good night. I'm at that age where I'm glad we haven't got a Harold Shipman knocking round. Do you know what I mean? Those of you too young to know who Harold Shipman is, right? He is our most prolific serial killer, right? He killed 300 people. He killed old people. That's my point. He'd have his eye on me, go, "Oh, give him a few more years." And he was a doctor, right? But the reason you haven't heard of him, right, is because he never appears in those lists of the worst serial killers. And he was like one of the worst ever, but he didn't act like a serial killer, right? He was a GP, he was old school, he had a little shirt and tie, little tweed jacket, little beard, little glasses. He'd do house visits, he'd go on to see Edna, 85. "You all right, Edna?" "Yeah." "Do you want a cup of tea?" "Yes, please." And he'd make Edna a lovely cup of tea, right? They just put her in a lethal amount of opioids, right? And he'd just give Edna the tea and watch her drink it and fall asleep and die. And that was it. He didn't even masturbate. You know? Yes, it is a waste, sir, yeah. Yes. And, they reckon he got the idea when he was a little lad, Harold Shipman, little Harold Shipman. He watched his mum dying of lung cancer, being given morphine, and somewhat triggered him with, "I'll grow up, become a doctor, and I'll do this." I don't know whether it means that he liked the way the morphine put his mum out of pain, so these were like mercy killings, like, you know, reliving the kindness, or the opposite. He was jealous of old people who lived longer than his mum should have, so he was punishing them. I don't know, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because if you can really understand why someone does something like that, you might spot the signs in the future and stop a crime before it happens. You know, I always think that when there's a school shooting in America, right, it's usually some emo, right, who goes into a kindergarten, kills about 30 toddlers, turns the gun on himself, right? And all the eyewitnesses, they always say the same thing. They go, "Oh, he was a loner, he sat at the back, he was shy, he was bullied." Let's round those cunts up now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, go into a school, see who the bully's smashing up, right? Go, "I'll take it from here, mate, thank you," right? And drag that little dweeb off to Borstal or jail or so. Go to the bully, "Go and find another one." You know what I mean? He's doing a great job, but we need more. But they're beating up future child killers. You get obsessed with crime and punishment as you get older. I've always been pretty interested. I studied philosophy at university, and a big part of that is morality. And I've always been against the death penalty. Right? I was a young liberal, and I was really anti the death penalty. And now I'm an old liberal. And I'm still anti the death penalty, but now I love it when someone gets killed doing something they shouldn't at the time. Like, you see a bloke in Brazil, a hostage video, he's got a young girl, he's got a gun to her head, and he goes, "You won't take me alive, copper." And then the marksman just takes out his brainstem. Oh, I love that. Pause, rewind, all right? Or when a bullfighter gets gored to death. That is my favourite, right? Particularly when the horn goes up the arse. That, I call that a hole in Juan. Thank you. Or those videos coming out of lawless New York. You see them on Instagram and YouTube. It's someone with an iPhone. He's got someone, right, he's knocking over this little convenience store. He's got a fucking hoodie and a knife, and he's nicking all the booze. He doesn't care he's being filmed. He's going to get away with it. He's going to get away with it. Then, from behind the counter, comes a little 70-year-old Korean man who batters him to death with a broom. I fucking love that. I can't wait to be a 70-year-old vigilante. Just walking round Hampstead with a walking stick. Oh, but it's a sword. I paint it white as well to look even more vulnerable, right? Wear dark glasses. I'd see a gang of youths. I'd go over to them and go, So, excuse me, guys. Do you know where the Nike store is? I want to buy some Air Jordans with all this cash. And as they go for it, you little fucking cunts. But the death penalty is not like that, is it? It's not in self-defense. It's not in the heat of the moment. It's cold justice, you know? Don't matter what you've done. You could have murdered people, you know? You stand trial, they find you guilty, they put you on death row, sometimes for 10, 15 years, which seems unnecessarily cruel, and then they murder you in front of witnesses. And it's from the Bible. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The state says you murdered someone, so we're going to murder you. But if you rape and murder someone, you still only just get murdered. That's a loophole, isn't it? That's like... That smacks of misogyny to me. That's like the judge going, the rape was free, but we're going to... You know what I mean? Just once, I want the judge to go, right, you raped and murdered someone, so you're going to be taken from here to a place where you'd be hung by the neck and raped. What, at the same time? Yes, yes. We've got loads of volunteers with dildos, right? So he sort of goes down, fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, he's dead. Yeah, I know. Oh. It might work. But the longer you live, the grumpier you'll get. It's not just going to happen to me, it's going to happen to all of you. Because the longer you live, the more shit you see. And you go, oh, fuck, this again, right? And the more burden you carry. And the older you get, the weaker you get, so the burden gets heavier. And you go, oh, God, this again. And you can't die nowadays. You know what I mean? You go, oh, thank God, I'm dying. Oh, fuck, I'm back. You know what I mean? They can transplant every organ now. Whatever's got... Transplant every organ. Not your brain. That wouldn't make sense. You are your brain. So that would be an everything else transplant, wouldn't it? But I'd sign up for that. I don't care about this. It's to get this round. If I could leave £1 million to science, so when I died, suppose when I died, my body's crushed, killed instantly, but my head's intact. They keep that on ice, wait for a body donor. Some poor bloke gets his head crushed, put my head on his body, and I'm back. I know. Statistically, I will get a bigger penis as well, so... The odds are in my favour there, trust me. I wake up in the future, I see the scar and I go, oh, that's all right. You know what I mean? I go, oh, you've always wanted a big knob? I go, yeah, I've always wanted a big knob. I go, let's have a little bit of me time, shall we? And I start, but then every time I look down, I go, oh, that's not my knob. Do you know what I mean? I go, oh, that's not my knob. Oh, that's not my knob. It's not my hand either, carry on. It's like, you know what I mean? I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from the office? Like that, right? And then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so that'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. Don't live your life, let someone else worry about it. You're dead, you've done your bit, right? I know some people who really are stressed about what happens after they die, some religious people, and they believe in heaven and hell and all that. So now they're getting a bit, oh, have I been good enough? I mean, great, heaven's great, but hell, oh my God, what if I go to hell? And I go, there's no hell. It's made up to frighten kids. Like, my favourite horror film of all time is still the original Exorcist, right? First time I saw it on VHS, right? I was blown away. I watched it again straight away. I loved it, right? And there's a bit in that that's meant to be the really poignant bit. And I laughed the first time I saw it because it was the idea of the devil being this crass and childish. You know the bit. So, the little girl's possessed by the devil, and they're doing an exorcism, and they're throwing holy water on it. She's hissing, right? They go, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And at one point, the devil makes the little girl turn her head round, and he makes her say, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Right? And the bloke, she said, he's devastated. He's like, because he's thinking, oh, no, that's the real devil. So he knows, so it's true, my poor mother sucking cocks in hell, right? If scientists actually found the devil, I was wrong. There isn't it. They found the devil, they tested him, it was peer-reviewed, it won the Nobel Prize for fucking everything, because it would be the greatest discovery of all time, right? And I'd look at the science, I'd be mind-blown, but I'd go, well, you've got to follow the science. So, you know, yeah, I believe in the devil. I wouldn't even be belief, it would be knowledge. I'd want to meet him. If the devil actually existed, I'd want to see it from my... As long as I was safe. I don't know what makes you safe from the devil. But if he existed, we'd find out, wouldn't we? We'd, like, vampires live forever, but now we know a bit of garlic really fucks them up. So we discover something, like if you put a devil in a cage with a sprig of parsley on top, he's weak or something, right? And I'd meet the devil, right? And I'd go for an order, and I'd go, he'd be there. I'd go, are you the devil? He'd go, yeah, right? And then he tried to hurt my feelings. And that was his best shot. And he went, Rick, I go, what? He goes, your mother sucks cocks in hell. I go, I don't care. I don't. One, she's dead. Two, she was heterosexual. Three, she never had her teeth in towards the end. So, no. But it's hell. Think of all the terrible things that could be happening to her. Being raped by red-hot pokers, rats eating her eyes. My mum gets cock duty. Go on, girl. That has got to be one of the better jobs in hell. Isn't it? It's like, terrible job on earth. I've never sucked a cock in my life. I never will. But if I died and I'm in hell, right? Tortured from eternity, I'd see the first cock, I'd go, I'm on this. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'd be looking round seeing people skinned alive. I'd go, I'd chow down. I'd be looking over the big man going, I'm doing a great job here, leave me on this. And there's the devil with a clipboard looking a bit confused. No one's ever gone straight for the cock, but he goes, OK, carry on. Okay. Supernature. Why supernature? Well, for two reasons. One, I want to debunk the supernatural. I don't believe in anything supernatural. I believe that anything that exists is by definition part of nature and is explainable. If not now, then eventually. Also, supernature, because nature is super enough, you know? It's amazing that we're even here discussing it. We're the only species that allows the universe to understand itself, right? The chances of us being here at all, the chance of you being you, existing now, the chance of that sperm hitting that egg is 400 trillion to 1. And I think life is like a holiday. We don't exist for 13.5 billion years. Then we have these 80, 90 years if we're lucky. Then we die, never to exist again. And some people are even offended by that. They go, you can't say that. It can't be chance. It's too good. Someone must have made it all. And, you know, I'm too special. I can't just not exist. I'll live again. I'll go to heaven, I'll be with my friends and family, or I'll come back as a spirit and I'll walk amongst you, or I'll be reincarnated, I'll come back as someone else. That'd just be someone else. That's all that's happened. You're not involved. That is just someone else, right? Many people believe in reincarnation, of course. Some people even claim they remember who they were in a previous life. There's a society in America, of course, in California, of course, right? And they remember who they were in a previous life. And they're always someone pretty special in their previous life. Not so much in the life they've got now. Right? But I saw a documentary about it, and every year they have a come as you were party, where they go dressed as the person they were in history. 2 Napoleons. So at least one of them is fucking lying. No reincarnation. No ghosts. Have you seen all the ghost hunter shows? Oh my God, hundreds of ghost hunter shows. Years and years. Celebrity ghost hunter. All around the world. Thousands and thousands of hours of footage. They've never seen a fucking ghost. Not what. It's all like, oh, what was that? Was it that I was just the... No, not the... Oh, did you hear that? Was it just... Oh, was it you? Oh, no, no. Imagine if wildlife programmes were like that. Imagine watching David Attenborough all these years, and everybody goes, here, on Kilimanjaro, we see the... Oh, that's not... And by the banks of the Limpopo, the elusive... Oh, that's not... You'd stop watching the cunt. I've never seen a ghost. The pedo hunter shows, on the other hand... There's usually a couple in the crew, just in case, you know what I mean? Particularly if it's a BBC production. Oh, shut up. There's no reincarnation, no ghost, no heaven, I believe. People can't get over that. People quiz me on Twitter when they find out I'm an atheist. They go, what, you don't believe in God at all? I go, no. Do you pray? I go, no. They go, why don't you pray just in case there's a God? And I say, why do you put garlic over your door just in case there's a Dracula, right? And I've got no problem with praying, you know. I know loads of nice Christians and Muslims and Jews, and if one of my family is very ill, they always say, oh, I'll pray for them. And I always say, oh, thanks very much, because it's a nice gesture. If they said, oh, we also cancelled the chemotherapy, I go, don't do that, don't do that. Pray, fill your boots, son, but let's do the praying and the chemotherapy, shall we? Because that's the same result as just the chemotherapy. So let's definitely keep that one, shall we? I got in trouble talking about praying on Twitter once. Do you remember a few years ago that terrible disaster in Oklahoma, the hurricane? People lost their lives and their livelihood, and I donated to the Red Cross, and I tweeted about it with a link saying you can donate here too, trying to help them with their drive. And one of those sort of frivolous entertainment magazines from America, their account tweeted this thing. It really annoyed me. They tweeted, Beyonce and Rihanna send prayers to Oklahoma. And I tweeted back going, oh, I feel like a cunt, I only sent money. Someone tweeted me once, would you come to the bedside of a dying child and tell them there's no heaven? I tweeted back, is it a paid gig? I don't care whether you believe or not, what you believe in, who you pray to. Doesn't affect me. I just think that nature is super enough, you know? I don't think we need angels and unicorns. We've got the fucking octopus. That actually exists. 8 legs, 9 brains, 3 hearts and a beak. Make your fucking mind up. What are you doing? The duck-billed platypus, a monotreme. When scientists first found that, they thought it was a hoax, because it produces eggs and milk. It could make its own custard. It doesn't, but it could. It could. It definitely could. But even though we know the chances of us existing at all are astronomical and our life is so short, we waste so much of it worrying about stuff, worrying about things that might never happen, worrying about things that won't matter in a week, let alone a year or 10 years. I'm terrible. I worry. I'm a worrier. I lay awake at night thinking, oh, what if, and all that. And I hate being stressed. So I try and rule stress out of my life, which is really stressful. Because I have to have a plan A and a plan B, a plan C. And if I do all my work, I'm at home, I go, right, militant, no work, just relax, right? Just a glass of wine, just relax, right? If someone comes through the door, I'm like, what the fuck's that, right? It's usually money. Right. And Jane, my girlfriend, she's like, can't, let's have a look, shall we? Come. She tries to calm me down. I've been with Jane now nearly 40 years, right? And we've, thank you. And we've always had cats, because Jane read early days that a cat will make you live longer, de-stress you, stops you having a heart attack and stroke if you're wound up. She was basically trying to save my life to get... So we got cats. We always had cats, right? I think it works. Like, if I'm really stressed, I go, where's the cat, right? right. First thing, wake up, wake up. What? So no, and I stroke the cat and I'm thinking, oh, I'm stressed. Oh, look, she's so unstressed, right? And I think, oh, that's unfair, and that stresses me out a little bit. Because I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders. She's got nothing, no conscience, no guilt. You'll never see a cat feeling guilty. You will never go into a room and see a cat like that. That's no. You go, what's the matter? What's the matter? Yeah. All the fucking shit in there, that's what's the matter, mate. Like what? Like that bloody mouse I killed. Probably had a family, didn't it? I didn't have to torture it first. They don't give a fuck. If a cat was big enough, it would kill you and eat you, right? They're the opposite to dogs, right? Yeah, this sums up the difference between cats and dogs once and for all, right? The cat has got a barbed penis. True, Google it. Careful. Right, but a barbed penis. Right, two reasons. One, it holds the female in place during mating, so it slides in easy, and it goes, oh, run. Oh, you can't. And two, when it withdraws, that pain causes the female to ovulate. Think of a different way, mate. And that makes me think maybe there is a God, because, I mean, maybe he did cats and dogs, because they're like, he went, boom, there you go. Yeah, cats and dogs, you're ballpark, furry mammals, you live at home. It's a good gig, you get fed. What sort of penis were you hoping for? Dog? Doesn't matter. Whatever you get, it'll be the best penis ever. Whatever you... Just something that matches my onesie, just a little, maybe a little furry mound. Something lady dogs would like. A little furry mound with a little pink lipstick in it. A little... furry lipstick, good choice. Cat, give me a fuck stalk with hooks. The cat is the only animal that domesticated itself. True. Just wandered into civilization about 10,000 years ago and went, meow, feed me, right? And they made the meow up for us. They don't do that in the feral state. They go, meow. They learned that we, oh, and it works. My cat goes, meow, oh, I let my cat do anything it wants. They sleep when it wants, they go where it wants. If we get a parcel in the post, if I undo it, right, and if she gets in the box, oh, I can't throw it away. Right? We've got about 17 all over the mansion. And if we're watching telly, me and Jane, if it gets in our lap, we think, oh, that's such a privilege, we don't move. Even if we need a wee, we don't want to disturb it. The other one gets the drinks all night, you know, oh, like... And people say to me, you spoil that cat. I go, yeah, I do. It's a cat. It's not a person. What's the worst that can happen if you spoil a cat? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't grow up to be fucking Boris Johnson. It is... No, I don't get political. Although he is out of his depth. I mean, he started off by saying women in burqas look like post boxes. Now, it's not up to Boris Johnson what a Muslim woman wears on her face. It's up to her husband. Not my rules. Not my rules. This won't be in the special. Edit. Yeah, cats, aren't they? No, I do love cats. I really love dogs. We haven't got a dog because we travel too much usually, but wherever we are in the world, whether in New York or London, we go for a walk every day just to meet dogs. In Central Park or Hampstead Heath, I know about 200 dogs by name now, and you always meet a few of your little friends, and it sets me up for the day. It's like my fucking heroin, right? And if you meet a brand new dog, you go, hello, he's never met you before, right? And if you're nice to it, it's suddenly your best, it'd do anything for it. You go, do you need a kidney? They are amazing, dogs. That makes me laugh, that sign people still put on their house, beware of the dog. That makes me want to go in the house to meet it. So, if you want to keep me out of your house, put up a sign that says, I don't know, beware of the AIDS, you know? Hello. Hello. Thank you. Shush, thank you very much. Shush, no. Shush. Thank you, but shut the fuck up. No fucking whooping or just laugh. But shush. Everyone calm down. Shush. Shush. I'm filming this. Shut up, you cunts. Thank you very much. Welcome to my show. It's not a show. There's no dancers or jugglers. It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist. What about all the funny female comedians? Like, No. Right. No. I'm not doing that. Okay, right. That was irony, okay? There's going to be a bit of that throughout the show. See if you can spot it, okay? Now, that's when I say something I don't really mean for comic effect, and you as an audience, you laugh at the wrong thing because you know what the right thing is. It's a way of satirising attitudes. Like that first joke, I used the old-fashioned sexist trope that women aren't funny. Now, in real life, I know there are loads of funny women. Like, I did it again. Well spotted. Good. No, but there are. Dame Edna Everage. She's... Eddie Izzard. She's brilliant, isn't she? She's not only a great comedienne, she's also a great actress, isn't she? She was brilliant in that thing as that man. It's good to be back. I fell back in love with stand-up on my last tour, Humanity. I played arenas around the world. Netflix bought it for a record amount. It was the most watched special of the year. I thought, everyone loves me now. Everyone loves me now. Then I got this tweet. Real tweet. Call yourself a comedian? He knows I do. Literally says the word in my Twitter bio. Call yourself a comedian? You're about as funny as... Now, I thought he was going to go for the jugular and say Miranda, or... Come on. Come on, guys. Don't... I'm joking. Right. Call yourself a comedian, you're about as funny as a fart at a baby's funeral. He was trying to hurt my feelings. But his big mistake was choosing something that would be fucking hilarious. As if that would... A fart at a baby's funeral. Big echoey church. Everyone just silently sobbing like that. Tiny little coffin. Tiny little coffin. And someone farts. You'd laugh. Even if it was your baby. You know? No. If you're at the funeral, it's been dead a week. Do you know what I mean? You're probably up for a giggle. Particularly if you're the father. If you're the mother, you probably still find it hard seeing the funny side of things. Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them. No, it's the old-fashioned. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person that isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You fucking turf whore. But that tweet sums comedy up, doesn't it? How subjective it is. How one person... Some people can find them hilarious, some people find them the least funny person in the world. And when someone says to me about another comedian, they say, oh, they're not funny. Even if I agree with them, I stand up, I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know. And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I gotta say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy, and comedy evolves, you know. There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. Can't mention him anymore. He's cancelled. Not enough to apologise and move on. You've got to... Like poor Kevin Hart. See, Kevin Hart, he got the job hosting the Oscars. It was his best day ever. He was on Twitter going, oh, I've wanted to do this all my life, right? And then someone found these 10-year-old tweets, right? They were sort of childish, sort of shitty, homophobic tweets. It was about his son. He was mucking around and he said, oh, my son's doing so-and-so. I hope he's not gay. There was a massive backlash. He went, oh, sorry, I'm not homophobic, really sorry. He deleted them, right, and said, I'm really sorry. 10 years later, someone finds a screen grab and goes, look, he's done this. Oh, big, the Oscars go, oh, you've got to apologise again. He went, no, I've apologised. I can't keep apologising. And he's right. If there's no value to saying sorry and evolving, he might as well just tweet him again. Right? That's how I deal with shit, anyway. But if you're the type of person to revel in someone getting cancelled for something they said 10 years ago, you're just ensuring that one day you'll be cancelled for something you said today. You can't predict what will be offensive in the future. You don't know who the dominant mob will be. You know, like, the worst thing you can say today, get you cancelled on Twitter, death threats, whatever, the worst thing you can say today is, women don't have penises, right? Now, no one saw that coming. There are no 10-year-old tweets of people saying... You won't find a 10-year-old tweet of someone saying women don't have penises. Do you know why? We didn't think we fucking had to. Liam Neeson. Oh, he nearly got cancelled, didn't he? Liam Neeson. Now, I don't know why he told this story, but he did at a press junket to a journalist, right? And it was where he just started saying, it was 30 years ago, he said, and my friend came home and she'd been raped, right? And that's not the funny bit. He said, she'd been raped. I said, what did the guy look like? He said he was a black guy. He said, so I got my cosh and I went out looking for the first black guy. He said, nothing happened. I came to my senses, right? But the weird thing about that story is, who has a cosh? But it was touch and go. They cancelled the premiere that night because of the backlash and that people wanted the film to be deleted. And I get it. Some people can't separate the art form with the artist's personal life. Now, I know Liam. I've worked with him. He's a lovely man. He's definitely not racist. But when that broke, even I was like, oh, will I ever be able to find Schindler's List funny again? You know, I do still find it funny, obviously. But now there's so much outrage and we hear about it and it's taken seriously, you know. There's Oxbridge comedians writing for the posh papers, telling you the rules of comedy. They're laying it down, laying down the law, right? And it's all stuff like, comedy should punch up. You should never punch down. You should never punch down. Sometimes you've got to punch down. Like, if you're beating up a disabled toddler. You know what I mean? If you punch up, you'll miss the little cunt and he'll win, you know. I like that joke because it highlights the difference between metaphorical punching down in jokes and actual punching down. But people nowadays want you to believe that words are actual violence, right? Now, you laughed at a joke about beating up a disabled toddler. No one got hurt. If I'd have actually dragged out a disabled toddler and started beating him up, you would laugh, right? That's why I dropped that bit. But these people are virtue signalling. They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, They're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour, which is so patronising. And I get that as well, to what it's like to be outnumbered. In this country, we're still only 5% black, 5% Asian, 5% LGBTQ, you know, tiny numbers. Now, I'm a white, heterosexual multi-millionaire, right? There's less than 1% of us. Do I whine? No. Do I don't mind. I just get on with it. Come on, Rick. Come on, Rick. Just keep I'm like Rosa Parks. Do you know what I mean? I'm like... Except I fought for the right to never have to take a seat on a bus. But... Just people complain about things they don't have to watch. It doesn't affect them, you know. And again, everyone's got the right to be offended and complain, but they've got to know that we're not trying to offend. That's not our aim, you know. We're trying to make you laugh. We're trying to give you a good time, and yeah, that is the deal, right? So I riff. If I say something tonight that's so offensive, so off that you've never heard anything so fucking off the charts in your life, right? Don't make a scene. Go to the box office after the show. They can't give you money back straight away, but there's a form you fill out with the complaint, and I take those away and I shit on them. So that's the rules of comedy. What if you then went, I mean, I did have you down for ironing. I go, fuck. I could have been ironing. Who's getting their cock sucked in hell? That's what I would. Because we're there for punishment, and that's a little treat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'd be there, right, thinking, feeling a bit smug, right, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. Not great, but, you know, I'd be... But the devil's a trickster, isn't he? One day I'd go, I wonder whose cock this is. And I look up, oh, it's fucking Hitler. I'm fucking sucking Hitler's cock. How is this all right to do this in public? Because if I followed one of you home tonight and I shouted through your letterbox, sucking fucking Hitler's cock in hell, you call the police. But you've paid to hear me say this shit. Oh. I'll tell you what's very popular in England at the moment, and in America, particularly California. Mental illness. Oh, it's taken off. It's taken off a trip. When I was at school, you were either thick or clever, normal or mental, right? Now there's like 1,000 new mentals, right? And it used to be a stigma. They go, I'm not mental. Now people go, I'm mental. You know what I mean? They want to, I'm mental. It's like everyone I know in media is ADHD. They go, I'm ADHD. I'm ADHD. Yeah, so I'm ADHD. Take the test. Yeah, I took the test 5 times. Passed it on the 5th. Oh, well done. Right? They go, and it's like, I'm writing a song about it, I'm writing a poem about it, I'm writing a book about it. Oh, well, yeah. And they brag about it. They put it in their CV and in their... it's got disorder. When did we start bragging about having a disorder? 20 years ago, you wouldn't have got given a business card and it said Ron Pike, anal warts. You know, just... keep it to yourself. No one cares. Right? I think the new pandemic amongst the youth is going to be fear and anxiety, because now we've had a whole generation who grew up with social media. Instant gratification doesn't build character. They're not socialised properly. They can't deal face-to-face with people because they're used to hiding behind an identity and an avatar, and now they've got teachers and parents enabling their mental illness as opposed to trying to snap them out of it. And now they fear the thing they once loved. They're worried about the internet and AI. Young people are really worried about artificial intelligence. And I say this about AI. If it starts becoming a burden, switch it off, right? Like we did Nan. And... another big fear amongst the youth is climate change. They're really worried about global warming. And I looked into it, and if the polar ice caps completely melt, the sea level will go up about 60 metres around the world. So all coastal areas will be affected a bit. But the real devastation, the real loss of life, will be in places like China and India. So relax. fine. But we all suffer from a bit of mental illness. We're all on the spectrum, aren't we? We've all got a little bit of OCD or anxiety or whatever. Like I'm a hypochondriac, right? Every morning I wake up and I think, right, what's wrong? Like, I go, what's that? Is that wasn't there yesterday? That was, what's that? What's that? And I Google it. I think, what? And I catastrophize as well. So I Google it and the first sort of like 5 or 6 I'm fine with. Like it goes, it could be anxiety, yeah, could be lack of sleep, yeah, I didn't sleep well. Could be lack of fibre, yeah, I'll have some more fibre. Could be lack of vitamin B, I'll get it. And then I just keep pushing me like it goes, could be cancer. I go, it's cancer, it's cancer. Once I came out of the bathroom and I went, Jane, I think I've got bowel cancer. She went, we had beetroot last night. I go, oh yeah, cheers. I want to end with a couple of true stories, if I may. As I said, I think this is my most honest and confessional show so far. So I want to talk about something I haven't talked about before, and that's to give you a glimpse behind the curtain of the Golden Globes. Right? And thank you. I last hosted the Golden Globes in 2020. It was the 5th time over a 10-year period, and I liked them more and more, and the last one was my favourite, because the world changed in that 10 years. You know, like the first time I hosted them in like 2010, the press of America, I hated me. Right? Who is this annoying Brit insulting the most important people on the planet? By the last time I hosted, they were like, yeah, go on, fuck them. Fuck them, right? Because ordinary people had got sick and tired of being lectured by these multi-millionaire, nothing wrong with that, these liberal elite entertainers telling them how to vote and how to recycle, when everyone knew they were getting free jet rides to Pedo Island. So it really hit the zeitgeist. But it was always the same deal. Whenever they said, do you want to host? I said, yeah, I'll host. I said, but I'm going to write all my own jokes, which is unheard of, apparently. I said, I'm going to write all my own jokes, and I'm not going to rehearse, so you can't hear the jokes beforehand, you can't cancel any. And they let me do that. I did have to show a lawyer the jokes about an hour before to make sure I hadn't broken any laws, and I never had, because I know the law. Sometimes the lawyer would go, are you sure you want to say that? Right? And I go, is it legal? They go, yep, technically. I go, let's do it. Right? I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes. That says something about them, to be fair, right? So, anyway, thank you. This last time, they said, oh, you've got to see the lawyer the day before now. I went, OK, great. So I was driven to the Beverly Hills Centre, and they're all setting up, right? And the photos of the A-listers are all in their chairs. I go, oh, there's Brad, there's Leo, there's Bob, oh, this one. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door, and he shut it behind me. And I looked, and there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, oh, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, hi. They went, hi. I said, shall I do the monologue? They went, please. Tough crowd. Right? So I had the monologue, right, and I was sort of going through, it was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going, like that, right? And I got to the end, and I went, that's it. And they went, good. I went, oh, great. I went, yeah. And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play, because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg, and licking her own minge. Right? So, this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And he went, OK, great. I thought, this is easy. I went to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And that was it. And I went, have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. they'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Anything funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Julie Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So imagine looking at your own box. Right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge. Right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge. Right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever they said, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually, the head lawyer went, OK, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it? He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. The most frequently asked question I get about the Golden Globes is always, was someone so angry about what you said about them, they came up to you afterwards and want to throw, and I always go, oh God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad... No, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, OK? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as it. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put her head round the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I go, yeah, fine. And I come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib, because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was the joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And he sort of went to him, he sort of went... And I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he... I was like, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. There's always in my head. Then I thought, he must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out, he was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before a fucking... We're doing Willy up the arse in C. Jeff's doing a solo. It's like... And what they usually do, they get a traditional tune so everyone knows it, and they change the lyrics. Some genius changes the lyrics, right, to be as offensive about someone or something or somewhere or whatever, right? So the tune they used to use, I remember it, it was that old Cockney knees up song. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Do you know that one? Remember the term dilly-dally? They use it very creatively in their version, right? So this was their lyric. It was the 80s. It's not politically correct. I apologise. But they're football hooligans. What are you going to do, right? So let's analyse their genius lyrics, right? This is what they used to sing. Don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. I mean, you might. No, not necessarily his, but, you know, like mathematicians amongst you would have to go, yeah, there's a slight... Like, if 1,000 people bent down when Alton was around, one of them might randomly... Someone might come off a bicycle and go, sorry, like that, and they oh, fuck, and the scientists will go, 1. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight... Also, when Alton's around, that's ambiguous. That could fit... Like, you could have 2 gentlemen having anal sex in a hotel room, right? And then the next day they find out that Elton John was staying in the next room. They go, oh, I got a willy up the arse when Elton was around, you know? I'll give him that. Anyway. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. He has the nerve to call us dear. We all know he's a fucking sorry, right? And it goes, he dallies and dillies. They've reversed it. Why? He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. Again, I don't know what play with means in this context. It could be like, wow. It could be anything, couldn't it? Wow. I thought you were going to suck it. No. He dallies and dillies, he plays with people's willies, he's up every arse in town. I'd stop him there, I'd go, no, you know, that is provably false. He's not up every arse in town, is he? We can prove that, right there. Take a small town, take Watford, 120,000 people. He is not up 120,000 arses, is it? I mean, half of them are women, so 60,000 tops, right? And I don't think he's been up 60,000. And if he has, good luck to him, but that's not my point. This is my point, right? What did his then wife think of that? Because he's in the closet, right? You know, and she's just married Elton John the Pop. She couldn't be... She's in love. She's so proud of him. Elton John, and he's chairman of Watford. She goes like, I'm married to Elton John the Pop Star. I'm married to Elton John the Pop Star. And then the entire crowd sing, don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. She must have gone, why are they singing that, Elton? And he goes, I don't fucking know. Watch the game. You know what I mean? It must have been awkward. Well, that's nearly it for me, but I've just, I said earlier, I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes, and that is absolutely true, but I've just remembered a joke that I stopped myself, because I bottled it a bit, and I think I was being overcautious. I want to share it with you, right? So, I got the chance to introduce Jason Momoa. Do you know who Jason Momoa is? Yeah, right? So I thought the meta joke would be to show my hypocrisy and my cowardice. Like, I'm okay to slag off actors, who's scared of actors, but when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not so brave. So I was going to go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter, because he's got a cock like a baby's arm, right? And I told my mate I was going to do that, and my mate went, do you think people think that's racist? I went, why is it racist? He went, well, because he's a person of colour, and I went, no, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that he's so big that he'd probably have a cock like a baby's arm, right? So I didn't do it. And I had a great follow-up as well. I'll tell you the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is what I was going to do, right? Right. I'll go out and go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter because he's got a cock like a baby's arm. Unlike Peter Dinklage, who's got an arm like a baby's cock. It's great to hear this sort of laughter again, because you probably don't notice it as much as comedians, but we've had a really weird 10 years where we're really second-guessing, going, is that okay? I don't know what people could find anything offensive, but we pushed back and we won, so fuck them. Until the next time. They haven't gone away, they're just licking their wounds. They'll be back with something madder, and... but remember who it is next time, right? It's always like these sort of educated, middle-class, privileged, elitist sort of people telling ordinary working-class people what they can and can't do and say and laugh, not realising how important comedy is to ordinary people. Like, when I was a kid growing up in Reading with nothing, right, humour was like a lifesaver. It was like a superpower, right? Not a real one, like flight, but you know what I mean? It's like, you ask anyone their superpower, I reckon 7 out of 10 will say flight, and 3 will go super strength or something, right? Which is great. If you're a superhero, flying round, being super strong, great. But sooner or later, a super villain will go, look at that cunt. I'm gonna get him and murder him, right? My superpower, They wouldn't even know it was me. They wouldn't even know there was a superpower being used. And it would get you out of any situation. My superpower would be the ability to make anyone instantly shit themselves. Think of it. You're getting mugged at knife point. They go, give me your wallet. You just go, they go, fuck. Oh, fuck. Game over. It's game over. That's another thing I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, in almost 64 years, I have never shat myself once. So, no, don't... No. No! Right. Yeah. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now, eh? I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. All the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. Nope. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, there's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish, fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that, you know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like, nothing wrong with looking Chinese, if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive. Why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. Why can you do that? Maybe there are terms and conditions to make sure you're never that racist. Like the doctor goes, right, we've done the eyes, but never leave the house in a little lampshade, because... Oh, so childish. It's so childish. But I hope you agree it was a positive show. It wasn't about death, it was about life. And some people are so worried about dying, they forget to live. And some people are so scared to do something. Oh, no, that's dangerous, that's dangerous. All the most fun things are dangerous. Roads are dangerous. Alcohol is dangerous. Alcohol is a poison. I should know. I sell it. Dutch barn. Right? So, yes. Right. Alcohol gives you brain disease, liver disease, kidney disease, heart disease, mental illness, but it does loosen you up at parties. So... think of all the babies born through alcohol, yeah. Many of them deformed if the mother carried on drinking. But the good thing about being born deformed is, you... Hear me out. The good thing about being born deformed is you can start drinking at a much younger age and no one gives you... Do you know what I mean? You see a normal kid drinking, you go, you little bastard. You see a deformed kid drinking, you go, yeah, go on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You're 8 or 9, you've had 27 painful operations, you've met Ollie Murs, have a drink, you know. Well, as you can see, I've run out of quality material. But you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you and good night.